open up with a song that we've done here in the past. It's one of our favorite songs, probably the song people most remember that we sing. And it was based on the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, which is a wonderful movie about seeing the positive in things. And the young man always said the same thing when anyone would complain. Okay, we talked about not complaining about things that don't go our way. Don't complain about the darkness in your wonderful talk this morning. Focus on the light and don't complain about the darkness. And so he always said the same thing that was the same kind of idea. Everything will be okay in the end. And people say, yeah, but it's dark now. It's not okay right now. Well, it must not be the end. And so we wrote a song about it. So we hope that you will join us in singing. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. We're gonna sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Every happy song needs some sha-la-la-las in it. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Even when the darkness seems to hide your way, after every night, a brand new day. Even when the darkness seems to hide your way, after every night, a brand new day, a brand new day. A sunny Tampa Bay day. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. You got it. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Let's sha-la-la-la again. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Okay, here comes the tricky part, scientists. Even when it all just seems to go your way, don't get attached, it's gonna change. Even when it all just seems to flow your way, no matter how many times you saw The Secret, it's still gonna change. That's okay because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Just the audience. Nice. If it's not okay, it's not the end. It's not the end. It's not the end. So if you don't like the weather, wait a day. It's not the end. It's not the end. If you can't believe all they talk about on the news are politics, it's not the end. It's not the end. It's not the end. But this is the end. All right. Lively, enthusiastic, awesome group today. Wow. Oh, let's do another Joy song. Another Joy song. This song, well, I had two in my mind. Do you have yeah, let's do Make Peace. I guess it was kind of inspired by Gandhi. We went to the Gandhi Museum in South Houston, and it was amazing how New Thought Gandhi was, but didn't know it. Because there was so much of what we saw and felt energetically that he was really, really teaching these principles.
So show them what you got from the
Oh, I got a
things.
few bracelets because they said we could have anyone we wanted. So I got them all. I am truth. I am peace. I am change. I am love. I wanted them all. Okay. Because I'm speaking of colorful.
I know. I usually have to apologize or explain why Armand is so colorful, but he is very colorful. And when he bought this suit, I said, I think that might be a bit much for churches. And but I don't know. I think they already the minute they see you, they got it.
Well, and a little tiny bit of truth of differences is that she likes to be appropriate. And I don't. And so she says, I just don't think it's totally appropriate to do that. And I said, okay, what do you think? She said, get some black slacks. So she bought me these wonderful little skinny black slacks, and they fit beautifully, and they looked great. And I said, this actually makes sense. I said, in one condition, when we go to a place that we've been to a few times and we know I can get away with it, let me wear the whole thing. She said, absolutely. And we've been doing that. We never go in with this suit when we don't know. Yeah. So anyway, so that's it. So thank you. Thank you. So yes, God, instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. And God, he said that. Be the peace you want to see. Be the kindness you want to see. You want to be get more understanding? Be more understanding, because we are all mirrors of each other. And put that out. And even if it doesn't show up the way you think it should show up, nothing is wasted. You'll just feel good by being a wonderful person and kind right off the bat. It's what John Lennon calls instant karma. The greatest thing you can do to make yourself feel good is be kind to people and be loving and be generous, because you're basically being kind to yourself. Okay. So we'll teach it to you, and then if you want to sing along, that would be great. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Like the Macarena, we got hand movements. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. If every journey begins with a single step, I'm taking my first step now. If we are to be the change that we want to see, I'm changing myself now. Always a good place to start, the mirror. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. All right, we're gonna get a little funky. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Yeah. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Yo, 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 don't wait for peace to come. Be the change you want to see. God just said that, yo.
All right, so our talk today is titled Getting High on God. And so we will be talking about getting high and raising our joy to get those happy drugs.
That's right. So we're going to be talking a lot about lots of different ways to stimulate the brain to produce these drugs that make you feel good. We'll talk a lot about them. But because we promote happy drugs, in essence, we are happy drug dealers. Yeah. And it's important that you put the pause in the right spots.
That's right.
When you say that. So yeah, we're going to be sharing lots of fun things about that. So there are so many things that you've learned and figured out work. One of the reasons they work and they make you feel good and you feel so good is because of these happy drugs. Okay? Lots of different things. We'll be talking about a lot of these different things that happen and help us to feel better about in life. It's like what Abraham Hicks calls our internal GPS system. You're going in a way that feels good. You're getting lots of happy drugs. You feel good. Keep going. You start to get angry and judgmental and start complaining a lot. You don't feel good. That's the GPS saying, redirecting route.
That's
we
right.
used to like to put different voices in our GPSs. It's fun. We used to have a British one. She'd make your first authorized U-turn. That was fun. Now, what do we have in Waze? We have dog in Waze. If you ever have Waze, you can change anything on there. And dog is our favorite. We've tried them all. And dog's like, there's a police car ahead. I wonder if they've got toys, you know. But my favorite one is when you miss your turn. He goes, make your next U-turn. It's almost like fetching yourself. So we love, it just makes us happy to have dog on there. So yeah, so to me, personally, as an extrovert too, more than Angelina, my favorite happy drug is the drug you get in your brain when you were around other people that get you. You talked this morning about people that get you and people that don't get you. When you're with people that get you and you hang out with them and you get to be fully self-expressed, you get a few of the different happy drugs. You get dopamine, but you also get oxytocin, the hormone, the love hormone. It's the connection hormone. And sadly, when you're around people that treat you opposite of that, you actually get depleted in what you have. I don't think you get any unhappy drugs, but you get less of the happy drugs, which makes you feel less happy. And so it's very, very important. And what I realized is that when I'm around people that, especially people in this movement, I used to be a bit of a youth director, do some stuff with this Science of Mind and with the Unity churches where I was a youth director. And I would come back from these rallies and I would be high as a kite. And I'd be going, this is what we're all looking for, this feeling. And usually the other things that become addictions and stuff, Alan Watts said recently, people that become addicts are often the ones that knew that we were supposed to feel a certain way. They weren't going to settle. They knew they were supposed to feel this way, and then they went down a path that often got them in trouble later. But the energy behind that was, I know I'm supposed to feel really good and connected. I know I'm supposed to be in a place where the neurotic voices in my head stop telling me what's wrong with me. And that is one of the ways we can get that way, by using these happy
So by
drugs,
connecting with people, we get a certain vitamin, don't we?
True. And this vitamin is the one that humans need. Extroverts need it more, but all humans need it. Yes. It's the second vitamin C. And the second vitamin C was not available for many months back in 2020 and caused an emotional scurvy. And the second vitamin C is vitamin Connect. And when we were shut down and we weren't getting to be with people, you could just feel it, that vitamin Connect that we so need, we were depleted of. And thank goodness things started to open, and then we could get fully vitaminized again. Is that a real word? I bet Galinda would say that in Wicked. I was vitaminized. Anyway, so we got vitaminized back that
And
way.
so these youth rallies that we used to go to, there's a lot of vitamin Connect in that, and it's wonderful. It's especially wonderful seeing these teens interact and invite everyone and want everyone to feel connected and all. So as Armand keeps saying, extrovert, introvert, I'm more the introvert type. So it takes a little longer sometimes for me to express that and connect with people. So these youth groups, when they see someone who's like kind of by themselves, will say, let's invite them to eat lunch with us, and these young people are so good at that. And, I don't know, I don't remember being taught that as a child, but they really get it. And so there is a high that we get when we come back from those rallies.
And one of the ones I came back from, I kept saying, man, I'm floating. And they even call it a rally high. It could be a workshop high. It could be a meditation class high. We get these high feelings, and it's actually chemically going on in our brain. When I started learning about the chemicals in the brain, I'm going, it's kind of like a duh. And we're going to be talking about all these things that inspire these chemicals in these brains to come out and reproduce. So I said, I'm going to write a song about how I feel. And it's very simple. I get high on loving you. I get high on being around somebody that loves me back, that mirrors back, and allows me to be me, which is my way of love. Believe it or not, this outfit is my way of doing colorful love to the world. And it's kind of like my ADHD brain right here. That's what happens. It's always swirling around. But somehow it always comes back together in a pattern.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a call and response. I get high on loving you, and we've got some hand movements again. Do it, honey. So just repeat after me. I get high on loving you. 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 I don't need a train. I don't need a ship. I don't need a plane to take this trip. I don't need a drug. I don't need a brew. 'Cause I get high on loving you. 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 Your little girl and your little boy needs to come out and feel the joy. I see you as young and wild, 'cause in God's eyes, you're still a child. I get high on loving you. I get high on loving you. I get high on loving you. Follow me and you'll get high too. It's a contact buzz.
All right.
And that's a good contact buzz, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they were one of the best.
That was amazing. Yeah,
singers.
great response, getting contact buzz. That's another thing, that when you sing and you do chanting, sing along, anything like that, there is an energy that happens. Which one of the drugs is that? Oh, I know it stimulates the vagus nerve when you sing along and chant and all that, but also you're getting more oxytocin. You're also getting serotonin from singing and being joyous.
Right.
Again, brain chemicals, actual brain chemicals that make you feel better. So we're going to be talking about so many different ways to feel better.
So I'm going to start with like tools for getting
Let's
high,
talk about
right?
tools.
So we love to wake up in the morning and say things we're grateful for, you know? And then we do a meditation practice every day, almost every day. Because I find that centers me and gives me an inner contentment and peace that I need. So I used to meditate because it felt good, but now it's kind of become I meditate because I kind of need it. I find I have more anxiety as I've gotten older, and so the meditation just totally centers me, gives me that inner joy and peace that I'm looking for.
And I will say that I do believe, I don't believe we have to get old, but I do believe as our body ages, certain things can get a little depleted and can require a little extra. We started a few years ago taking collagen because we heard that that when you're over 50 and 60, you have less collagen in your skin. And that if you take a little extra, you can compensate for that. So we started doing it, and we noticed that we started to feel a little bit younger. But the best way to feel younger in the face, especially the ladies, don't look in magnifying mirrors, ever. I could make a fortune. For $100, I will teach you how to take 10 years of your life off. Throw that magnifying mirror out because nobody sees you that way. Okay. No, it wouldn't hit, but anyway. But yeah, so that's it. So different things like that. And I do believe sometimes that, and I learned this in the Barbie show. If did anybody ever see the Barbie movie? So Barbie was experiencing anxiety for the first time, and some lady comes up to her and says, yes, it gets worse when you get older. And so my brain immediately went, it's not that you necessarily have more anxiety when you get older. It's that you get depleted of some of those happy drugs that helped you deal with anxiety better. Serotonin and endorphins help you deal with those things better, okay? Collagen helps you deal with joints and skin and hair and things like that better when there could be some, and there's nothing wrong. It's just part of the process. We want to build these things up if you can do it.
Right. So grounding is another way to get that natural high. So we live in a concrete world, right? Our feet aren't in the earth much. So they say take your shoes off and get your feet in the dirt, in the grass, because they're those. Well, they're called negative ions, but they're actually very positive.
Yeah.
I can always get confused. It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, you get those ions that are really good for you and give you energy.
Yeah, and going out in nature too. Now, and that particular one I think is mostly serotonin. Being out in nature, being barefoot, being in the sand. They actually say that things that are outside, like tiles that are sitting on the dirt and things like that, you can also get some grounding. We bought ourselves a grounding pad to see if we slept better. Supposedly you sleep better when you're in nature, and so we had a grounding pad. Then we bought one for our cat.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he loves it, but I think he just loves it because it's new and it's like a little square, and he thinks it's a little bed to lay on. I'm not sure it's the grounding thing or not.
I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. Well, number one, our cat is an indoor-outdoor cat. He doesn't roam the town, but he roams in and out of our house in the backyard because we cat-proofed, escape-proofed our backyard.
He's a big catio.
Took years. He'd find a new path out. I'd videotape us. I'm fixing that. And don't try this at home, people. It's really hard to escape. But now it's been almost 2 years since he's left the backyard, so he's safe, but he gets to go out. So he doesn't need a grounding mat. He's barefoot all the time, and he's out all the time. So we got it for him, and the minute we got it, I was like, he feels that. He's intuitive. It's so subtle, this grounding mat. Loves it. So I decided I would do an experiment. I would unplug it. Because what you do is it has a little cord that goes into the little grounding plug of your wall. So there's no electricity, but it does make it go back to where that ground is. He just is on it anyway. He likes the safety of being in a safe box, even though it's just a square. We decided to do an experiment. We took masking tape. We made a 12-inch by 12-inch square of masking tape on our carpet. Yeah, right, this is going to work. Kitty cat walks out there. He gets in there, and he just sits in that thing. Because we had heard that they feel safe when they think they're in a box. Who needs toys? Masking tape, and get a fake, right grounding pad on what you're going to put there because they'll know. But don't get one that plugs in. That's the best way. But again, and animals. We're talking about animals. Yes. We get oxytocin from animals. You got a whole animal story.
Right. So we watched a documentary, and it was about dogs, but I believe it's true for cats too, that when a dog is petted, they get oxytocin. So, when you pet a dog or a cat, and they're loving it, when you stop, they nudge for more because they want more of those happy drugs. Yes.
Yeah, and it's just not only the external physical connection we get, it actually really does promote brain chemistry. I think they said if you can hug somebody, if you can do it for 6 seconds, like most people are, oh, God, it's so good to see you. Oh, it's delighted, But if you do it for 6 seconds, that some extra oxytocin happens. And again, these are all just healing, wonderful things. We made a deal. We're not perfect at it yet, but we try to say every time we see each other, we're going to do 2 breaths, which is about 6 seconds. And because we just are with each other all the time, and sometimes we forget that these are great things that are available to us all the time. 6 seconds of hugging, and you can get it from your dogs or your cats or anything like that because that wonderful oxytocin. So serotonin, mostly from nature. They did say in my studies that meditation is one of the few things that gives you the whole dose. And when I say dose, I mean dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. You get all of that in meditation.
They say also, I read that they say meditation, massage, and exercise to help all the happy drugs, all those.
Especially if you're exercising with somebody, you get the extra oxytocin.
There you go.
That's awesome. So yeah, you see, they're all around here. These wonderful, wonderful things. When you do something that really delights you. So just to go over, you probably already know this, but just for fun. So the dopamine is kind of like the pleasure drug. Roller coasters. We went to Busch Gardens yesterday, and roller coasters. Well, there's a front and a back to it. A roller coaster for someone who is exhilarated by it gets a whole bunch of dopamine and endorphins, okay? And if they're sitting next to somebody, maybe some oxytocin. If it's outdoors in nature, you get some beautiful serotonin as well. If you freak out on roller coasters, it actually produces adrenaline and cortisol and things that don't make you as healthy. So it's
Right.
not the same for everybody,
Right.
you know. But those kind of things, like my favorite thing was closed yesterday. It's called the Falcon's Fury, and it's this big giant drop. And when I did it for the first time, I said, "Oh gosh, they got tower drop. That's the quickest shot of drugs I know of, is getting up in one of those things and then falling." But they didn't tell me that once you sit down, and I'm so excited, then the seat does this.
Oh my God.
Anybody do the Falcon's Fury? Oh my
wow.
God. So I said, "Really? Really? This, everybody's is doing this, right?" And then I went down, and it was so weird and freaky, and everything came up in me. And then she goes, "What are you going to do?" I go, "I'm going to do it again now that I know." And then it was fine. But it just freaked me out the first time because I've never gone like that. So
Yeah,
that doing something that you love, that
scary.
exhilarates you, gives you dopamine.
Right. So dopamine is like the pleasure drug.
That's right.
It gives you motivation and learning. So, like he does cold plunges. Great dose of dopamine with that.
Yes, yes.
I
And
wouldn't do it, but it's good for him.
here's the deal. Some of us neurodivergents are neurodivergent because there is a deficiency of some sort. And for ADHD, I like to call it ADHC. It's a condition, not a disorder. But for ADHC, there is a dopamine deficiency. So when you see the ADHD kid that's hyperactive, they're going, "Oh my God, the kid's all full of energy." Actually, the kid's compensating for not having enough of the dopamine that would naturally make them feel okay. So they're going to get their dopamine by being class clown. Nah, it never happened. And doing that. And so I need a little bit extra of that one, okay? Angelina loves her endorphins because endorphins are anti-anxiety. They're the
Right.
things that make you able to handle the ups and downs in
Right.
life
So
better.
it's endorphins come in when you have physical pain or stress, and then that kicks in.
Yep.
Not that
And-
we're not promoting that though, but that's endorphins are good to just to release stress and anxiety.
And when you push yourself to do something that's challenging for you, you kind of push through it. And I know cold plunges, when I do those 10 minutes, I come out and I'm loaded with endorphins because my body thought it was going to die. And so it wants to strengthen me. And so those are wonderful. Singing.
Right. Music, creating music, art, eating dark chocolate.
Yeah,
That's
kind of
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Hot tubs and saunas and things like that also promote endorphins. So a lot of the things that you've been drawn to in your life that you thought, I just enjoy this, part of it is it actually helps with the brain. So we got the dopamine as the pleasure, the oxytocin as the love hormone, the serotonin
happiness
is
and
kind of like
well-being.
happiness and well-being, a sense that I never felt growing up that everything was okay just sitting there in silence. I went, well, it'll be okay if, because if I sat there in silence, I started thinking about all the things that weren't okay. And so I couldn't do that very well. So I stayed active all the time to compensate for that. And so it's very important, I think, that we find what balances us. For an introvert, balancing might be to get the heck away from everybody else, take a hot bath, and read a book. That might be the thing that balances you the most. And you're doing them anyway. So the serotonin, and then, of course,
Yeah,
the endorphins.
serotonin, they say to drink water because it's not only good for your physical body, but it's good for your mental and emotional state too. So,
That's
and
right.
it's good all around for everyone.
Good for hydrating, yes. So the
Yes.
serotonin, and of course nature. One of the things that I read in this book said it's really good to stack your happy drugs. And one of the greatest ways to stack your happy drugs is to go out in nature with friends, singing and dancing through the woods. Then you get all of them. You get all of them. And so we're constantly thinking about what ways are going to help. Sleep, okay? Sleep.
Yes.
7 to 8 hours of sleep replenishes those drugs. So you can have the tools and have the brain chemistry balance to handle stuff that goes on in your life. You ever notice you don't get enough sleep, things will bug you that wouldn't bug you if you were rested? That's exactly your internal GPS system saying, get more sleep. Yeah. And so many of these things are just available to us all the time. It's like we've got a lifetime pharmacy supply in our brain. We just have to find things that are going to stimulate it.
Right. So another tool I like to talk about is make your home your sanctuary. You know, so you're stressed, you have a rough day at work, or you're in traffic, and if you can come home and just be able to breathe and go, oh, I feel nurtured and safe right now, I'm in my home. So, and that can show up for different ways for everyone. So I, years ago, decided turquoise is my favorite color. I'm going to paint our kitchen turquoise. So I bought the paint, and I started to paint. I'm going, this is so bold. Who has a turquoise kitchen, right? But I did it because I bought the paint and I already started. But every time I go in that kitchen, you know, we tour a lot, so we'll be gone for like 4 weeks. When we come home and I see that kitchen, it brings me joy. So whatever that is for you, we have another room that has colors everywhere. We have a wall that's orange, fuchsia, and turquoise. And we walk in that room and it's just so fills us with joy because we love the colors and playfulness. So find what, you know, maybe it's plants, maybe have a great gardening in your backyard, whatever that would be for you to make your home your sanctuary, then that's your safe place and that's your nurturing, feeling really good.
Perfect. And when the lady that does the organizing, Marie Kondo, I think her name is, that teaches people, she may not know about these drugs, but she knows how you feel when you get them, because she says that when you're looking at something in your house, does it bring you joy? It doesn't have to make you feel bad, but if it just doesn't bring you joy, you're kind of, don't have it out. Find something that you put out that brings you joy. Find something that you found for $3 at a garage sale, and every time you look at it, like somebody made me this paper mache kangaroo with a little kangaroo kid in the pouch. We got it during a white elephant. It's like this big. I stuck that in my office up there. I said, every time I look at that, that makes me happy. It's horrible. But it just makes me feel good.
It's like this big.
Yeah, but those are the kind of things. Colors, essential oils and smells. Lavender is one that actually promotes happy drugs and serotonin and things like that. We already know all this stuff, but it's all available out there.
Right. So we also like to just do a little disclaimer, because we're talking about joy and how we feel good. But, there are times where we're depleted or we feel sad or angry, and it's really okay and good to express those feelings. So, you want to let those out so they don't get stuck in you, so you can get that joy afterwards. But if you don't express those emotions, then it just gets stuck and you can't move forward to the joy.
And that's absolutely right, because if you aren't fully self-expressed and I'm not allowed to have anger, you're ideally not going to take that anger out on someone. But the emotion of anger has a very, very light side to it. And that light side of it is motivation. And I always like to think of Martin Luther King Jr. He used his healthy anger to say, I'm going to make some change here. Not angry at someone, but a feeling of discontent, what we call in the New Thought movement, divine discontent. That is a bit a form of anger. And that anger can be used to motivate you to do something fabulous. It's not the anger that we always think of, which is always against somebody. It's an inner motivation, an inner discontent, because you want to be the change. You want to make something big happen. If you don't allow yourself to feel what your human is feeling, especially your inner child, we sang that song about, inner child, your little boy, your little girl. You know how we know that we're a child of God? Never read that we were adults of God anywhere. Have you? I never saw that. Child of God. And the reason is because the child part of you that's with you forever, that is your playful, joyous child. I've been getting into Alan Watts so much lately, and basically says, ultimately, you're here to play and express. Yes, You want to do what works best that makes your life as good as possible and be as loving and as forgiving and all that stuff too. But ultimately, you are here on this planet as a child exploring, I call it Planet Disney. You're in this big giant theme park and let your child come out. And so when you don't let them express their natural emotions like anger and disappointment, fear, then those things actually deplete your happy drugs. And have you noticed sometimes you just have to scream and all of a sudden you feel better? Now, I'm not going to totally promote this, but there are studies that say when you curse, when you hurt your foot or whatever, that is, as long as you're not cursing at someone, that actually helps. You're like, son of a, and you just let that, it's a way to release. The analgesic effect of profanity is what it's called. Again, don't do it at people, but you just be in the moment. Kids are like that. Something you step on their, ow, why'd you do that? They're in the moment, and guess what? They get through it. They release it and they get through it. Release is not surrender the same way like you're giving up. It actually is surrender. It's not weakness. It's not small. It's releasing it because you know that you want to move from it. Okay? You let it go. You no longer let it. You have preferences, but you release your attachment to preferences. That way you can say, yesterday is a good example. We had lots of ups and downs. We had to practice what we were preaching right now. We went to Busch Gardens. We had a plan.
Yes.
So we got there. We had a plan for this whole thing. We're going to go see this ice skating show at 6 o'clock. We're going to go see Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Everything's going to be great. I'm going to ride the Falcon's Fury, which was closed that day. Anyway, so we get there and we do that. And then at one point, Angelina goes, I'm hungry. I said, great, let's get some food. I said, the show doesn't start till 6 o'clock. Everything's going great, even though I didn't ride Falcon's Fury because they were closed. Everything's great. And then we get in line, and the restaurant was sort of shut down. Like only half the people were there. It took us about 30 minutes to get our food.
Felt like an hour.
Yeah. And we missed the ice skating show.
Yeah.
It didn't go as planned. Village People was supposed to play yesterday. We were going there for the Village People. They canceled. And then Blood, Sweat, and Tears played. We realized we loved Blood, Sweat, and Tears. We had a fabulous time there.
The horn section was incredible.
The horn section was incredible. Trumpet player. Ellen's a trumpet player. And so, again, every time something happens, we use one of our special, I call them happy drug tools. So I learned many of them. You've all heard this. Everything's in divine order. That is a happy tool. That keeps you from being frustrated with the world because you know it's in divine order, okay? Our other one is there's no such thing as rejection. It's God pointing us in another direction. Oh, the Village People canceled. God wanted us to see Blood and Sweat and Tears yesterday, okay? She started to feel pretty bad by the time our food got there and we had missed the ice skating thing because I said, you want to go somewhere else? And she goes, well, I don't really, well, let's go here. And she started to feel I did it wrong. And I said, it's impossible for us to do it wrong. We can do it in a way that's not comfortable. I like to call it unskillful. You can do some unskillful things. You can do something that does not give you the outcome you want. But if we're all the light of God and we're sparks of God, then there is an entire universe of forces acting upon us that puts us where we are. We're not here all by ourselves. We're being directed.
And we learn through our experiences, we learn what to do in the next time.
Yes, yes.
So if you're in a line and it's not moving for a long time, maybe it's good to leave and do something else. That's what I got from that.
You get a lesson. And again, look at all the different forces that are happening. I like to think of it like this. We make plans of what we would like, and we have some effect upon that. But we are not in control of the outcome. Let's say you have this friend, and you go, you know what? I'm going to go out of my way to let them know how completely amazing and wonderful they are, and I'm going to do this thing. So you've got this plan, and you do it, and somehow they don't get it. They think you're shoving your positivity onto them or whatever, and it's a negative outcome. That involved them. That involved their parents that told them if somebody does that, it's because they think they're better than you or whatever. There's a whole billion things that are happening so we can have our plans, have our desires, but when you're attached to outcomes, it's not going to go well.
Exactly. Attachment's never good.
And last but not least, I would like to share with you something that makes us feel very, very good when we think about praying and treatments. God has one of three answers to all of our prayers. You've probably heard this. The number one is the best one. Yes. That's good. I'm sorry. Yes is just great. The other one is not right now. Anybody ever had a not right now and you're glad it happened later? And the third one is not at all. I have something even better for you, which happened in our second marriage. We made that work. Okay, so thank you for having us. I hope you're feeling a little higher than you were. And we've got some more fun stuff going on today. And now a word from our sponsor. We're going to go back to the 60s, a song from Godspell. Please do whatever it is y'all do for your closing song. This is our version of Day by Day. Day by day, day by day, oh dear God, three things I pray: to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day. Let's rock it out. Day by day. Ooh, ooh. Day by day. Oh, dear God, three things I pray, to see thee more clearly, day by day, love thee more nearly, day by day, follow thee more nearly, day by day. Let's go to the 70s. Disco. Day by day. Woo, woo. Day by day. Oh, dear God, three things I pray, to see thee more clearly, day by day, love thee more dearly. See thee more clearly, day by day, love thee more dearly, day by day, follow thee more nearly, day by day. Beginning.